So now in this problem, we have to consider part AD, part DB, part BC. Because in AD we have different area, DB we have different area, BC we have different area. And now in this, you can see we have this value delta L, and that delta L is equal to delta CB. I have taken from right side delta CB because values of delta A, area of CB known, area of BD known, and then we have to find area of DA. So we have delta of these three, and we have this formula actually delta equal to PL upon AE that we have applied for AD, DB and BC. Now in this DB and BC I can calculate. So you can see we have calculated area of BC pi by 4 into 60 square. Then we have calculated area of DB, which is pi by 4 into 100 square. Now we know this area. So knowing this area, we are in position to find out value of PL upon AE for BC and for CD. So first two portion we are in position to find the values. That you can see, that is CB and BD. So second term and third term, we know this value. Unknown is only PL upon AE suffix AD. We are interested to find out D max. So you can see over here. So we have substituted value for second and third term. L we have 600. For third term, that is first term of right side, area of that plus 300, which is portion, second portion, that is DB, first is BC, second we have DB, and third we have AD. So area of AD we have to find, and once we know area of AD, then we can find diameter of the hole. So from this I will get, now you can see that value of delta is given 8 millimeter. Now we have calculated these values. 4 into 10 raised to 3 we have taken on left side, and 110 into 10 raised to 3 also we have taken left side, and therefore we have 2908. Now if you calculate 600 upon 2827.43 plus 300 upon 7853.98, then you will get value as 0.2504 plus 300 upon A. Now if you calculate this 0.2504, you can take left side, and then from this you will get value of A, that is equal to 7425.74 millimeter square. This is area required in portion AD. We have area of AD as 7853.98. You can see below 300, whatever area, that area is of BD, which is pi by 4 into 100 square. So now we are interested to make a hole in such a way that my shortening should be maximum 8 millimeter. So for that one, how much area I require? 7425.7. Available area we have 7853.98. Now from this we will find 7425.7 power is required area equal to pi by 4. We have solid diameter as 100. So we have 100 square minus, we have to make hole of D max. So D max square. So now when we will solve this, so by solving this, I will get value of D max, that is equal to 23.35 millimeters. So try to understand. Concept is the same. Formula I have used same. Only in this one I have to determine the hole diameter. Yesterday we have given, that is depth is given, that is B by 4 of that plate. Here we have to find this value of D max, and limitation is given towards the shortening of the member, and I will get value of D max 23.35 millimeter. D max shows If we will provide less than this, your value of delta is, if we will go more than this, then your value of delta will be higher side. So I can make a hole maximum of 23.35 millimeter diameter. Now we will go to second problem. So in the second problem, if you will see, so in this we have actually to determine the weight, that is displacement due to the weight of the bar. Now you can see this. So what are the questions? First we have derive a formula for the downward displacement C. C where we have? C we have at a distance h from the lower end of the bar. Now whenever you will go for displacement due to weight at any point, then you have to consider area above it. So if I have to find value displacement, then we have to consider. Now we are interested to determine at height h, means we have to consider weight from h to L, because we are going to find out at this point. If I have to find out at bottom, then I have to consider whole weight above it. So at whichever point you have to find displacement, you have to consider weight above it. Now total weight is given W. So now if I have to find out at distance h from bottom, then we have to consider these formulas in this way, where I have value of y, and that y we have any height. Now W at y is equal to W by L into y. So we can consider any depth y, which will gives me weight of that bar in that length. So now again we have same formula, delta L equal to PL upon AE. Now here I have considered length dy, for which I am going to determine the deformation. So my length is dy, which is at a distance y from height h, because I have to find out at height h. So I have to consider weight of the bar above h. So now we know formula we have for this, that is delta L equal to PL upon AE. Now P we know, just we have seen what is P, W by L into Y. L, now L we have considered dy length. You can see there a short portion we have considered, that is dy. So Wy into dy upon AE. So now if I will put W suffix y in this equation, then I will get it as Wy into dy upon LAE, because W suffix y we have W by L into y. Now we are interested to find the value from h to L. So we will consider it from h to L. So what we will get it? Wy dy upon LAE and W upon 2AEL. So we have integrated. So W upon AEL is common. So we have integration y dy. When you square it, you have y square upon 2, and limit is h to L. So if you will put this limit, then you will get delta L at h from the bottom is W upon 2AEL L square minus h square. So delta you can find at any point. Problem is simple. So you may have any cross section. Here I have considered it as a rectangle. You may have circular, you may have trapezoid. So any type of bar you may have, and you have to find out the deflection due to its own weight. Now second part was asked, what is elongation B of the entire bar? Means we have to find that is at bottom. So if I have to find out bottom, then what will be my limit? My limit just changes from 0 to L. So now you can see this. So here formula we have same, delta L equal to, now just your limits are changed. Now what is limit now? 0 to L. Sorry, 0 to LS. Now H I will put it at 0, and which will gives me WL upon 2AE. So now in examination you may have problem, that is MCQ. what is the deformation of the bar due to its own weight, and then my value will be WL upon 2AE, or some dimensions are given and they have to find out at some height from bottom, then we have to keep in mind general formula W upon 2AEL in bracket L square minus H square. Now third part was asked, what is the ratio of the elongation of the upper half of the bar to the elongation of the lower half of the bar. Now if I will talk about upper half of the bar, then my limit will be L by 2 to L, and when I will consider bottom part, then I have 0 to L by 2, because origin is bottom and from there you have to consider. So upper half we have 0 to L by 2, and upper half lower half we have 0 to L by 2, and upper half we have L by 2 to L. So now you can see this. So we have calculated this value for both. So upper half L by 2 to L, and I will get by integration L square minus H square, where H is now L by 2, gives me 3WL upon 8EE. If I will go to the lower half, then we know for lower half my integration will be 0 to L by 2. Now here I have L by 2 whole square minus 0 square, which will gives me WL upon 8AE. And now if we will put a value upper upon lower, then I will get this ratio as 3. So we have this ratio as 3. So this is our second problem. So try to understand, when you have given a bar and you have to find out deformation due to weight, then you have to integrate, and how to integrate that you should know. Once we know that one, then we can find the things very easily. Now you can see this is third problem. So which is a cylindrical assembly of brass core and aluminum collar is compressed by a load P. And what we have to do, we have to find out the load P, and for load P for what? That is decreases, length decreases, means we have shortening. How much? By 0.1%. So by 0.1% means we have given L350. So we have 0.1 upon 100 into 350. That will be my deformation. So we know this is a composite bar. So delta L by brass and delta L by aluminum should be same, because whenever we have bar that is composite, then my deformation should be same. So now in this formula we have same PL upon AE of AL equal to PL upon AE of B. Now delta L, how much delta L is allowed, or for what delta L value we have to find P, that is for 0.35 millimeters. Now same way we have to go. Now delta L we know 0.35. So PL upon AE, from which I will get P for aluminum. Then delta L equal to PL upon AE brass, I will get value of P for brass. So knowing value P for aluminum, P for brass, I will add these two, and that will gives me value of P required to shorten the column by 0.1% of length. So now you can see this. So simply I have calculated area of brass, area of aluminum, and calculated value first PB, that is force required for brass to shorten by 0.35 and force required for aluminum to shorten by 0.35, and I have added these two values, which will gives me the force P required to shorten the bar by 0.1%, and that will gives me P required 104.21 kilonewton, which will shorten the bar by 0.1% of the length of the member, that is 0.35 millimeters. So formula we are using one formula PL upon AE, but how to use it, how to apply it for the different problems. So application of the formula plays very important. Just see the problem, see it carefully, whatever data is given, then put the values in the data properly and solve it. Now we will switch over to the fourth problem. So now in this fourth problem, we have given a composite bar. Now this composite bar, we have a steel bar which is inside and which is surrounded by a copper tube. Now just see, formulas we are using again, delta L equal to PL upon AE. Now the length difference between mild steel and copper is 0.2 millimeter. So when you apply load 60 kilonewton, then part of the load first utilized only by mild steel. First mild steel will shorten by 0.2 millimeter, and then your all material have same length 1 meter, and then load is shared by both and equal deformation will obtain. So I have to first find out force required for mild steel to shorten by 0.2 millimeter. Now delta I know, L I know, AE I know, from which I will get P for steel, which is required to shorten by 0.2 millimeter. Once I got this value, then I will subtract this force required for 0.2 millimeter from 60 kilonewton. And then whatever force is remained, that force is shared by both materials in such a way that deformation of both material is same, but that will be after deformation of 0.2 millimeter of mild steel bar. So now you can see, first I will calculate the force required PS1. What is PS1? PS1 is the force required for the steel bar to shorten by 0.2 millimeters. That will give me value of PS1. Now once I know PS1 15.2 kilonewton, so this force that we have to subtract from 60, because this force is already utilized. Now our bar that will be at same height. Now don't think value of L of mild steel will be 1000 plus 0.2. So if you put 1000 plus 0.2, that will not differ your answer, because comparison with 1 meter, your 0.2 millimeter is negligible. So that will not change your answer. If you have to go, you can see it. Now once I know this, then P1, now force remained, that is P minus PS1, 60 minus 15.2, and that gives me value as 44.8 kilonewton. Now my collar is at level where my steel and copper bar are at same height, and now I have to apply delta L for mild steel equal to delta L for copper, and then we have to find it. Now you can see PL upon AE for steel equal to PL upon AE for copper, and now for this we will substitute the values. PS2, now L is same, so PS2 upon area of steel into E of steel equal to PB upon area of PC copper upon area of copper into E of copper. And when you put this, then you will get PS2 equal to 4.34 PC, that is copper. And another equation I have PS2 plus PC as 44.8. So now because 15.2 we have already used, so remainder is 44.8. Now solve these two equations. Solving these two equations, I will get value of PC as 8.3 kilonewton and value of PS2 as 36.41 kilonewton. Now PS2 is 36.41, but what is PS? PS is PS1 plus PS2. PS1 we have used to shorten mild steel by 0.2 millimeters, and then we will add it, and that will give me 51.61 kilonewton. That will be force carried by steel, and 8.39 kilonewton, that is force carried by copper. And from this I can find stress in steel and stress in copper. So sigma s we have PS upon AS 135.82, and second actually that is copper, sigma copper equal to PC upon AC, and that will gives me value of 47.94 MPa. So in this way, we are going to get values of stress in steel and copper. So little bit change. So we have to think formula you keep in mind, only one formula. Now we will switch over to the next problem, and hence after we have around 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5 problems I have taken from IES, that is last 3 papers. So 2019, 2018 and 2017. So before 2017 pattern is changed, but problems maybe we have on this axial stresses that I have not collected. Now I focus only on 3 papers. So now you can see problem is very simple. We have seen this problem, same type problem. So 1000 kilonewton, and this problem was asked for 8 marks in IES 2019. So now I will just show the steps. So you can see this diagram. So we have 150, 170, that will be my internal and external diameter of steel, and 170 and 190 are the internal and external diameter of brass. So now in this we have delta L of steel is equal to delta L of brass, same PL upon AE of steel equal to PL upon AE of brass. We have calculated areas for both. Once we know areas, so we have calculated relation between their forces. Now relation between their forces we got from here, that is PS, that is equal to 1.78 PB. So no change. This was asked in IES 2019, recent, 1.78 PB. And second equation we know PS plus PB is 1000, that is given. And then if we solve these two equations, solving equations 1 and 2, we get PS 640.29 kilonewton and brass 359.71 kilonewton. So calculate value of stress in steel and calculate value of stress in brass. So that is actually sigma B is PB upon AB, and we will get 63.61 MPa. So if we will see, so if you prepare for IES, then remaining terms are very simple, remaining exams are very simple. So MPSC we have maximum, we have MCQs. So main we have IES. So keep your aim for IES so that you can easily crack. Always keep our aim very low, and then we are thinking to get higher. So aim is low. So keep aim very high so that you will get at least some at middle portion somewhere of your aim. So aim is bottom and we are thinking to get success till top. That is not possible. So start your preparation to IES, and then automatically GATE you can crack very easily. Do not prepare for GATE. Otherwise I can go very fast, but my aim is not GATE. My aim is IES. And then I can go very easily for GATE. So we have this problem and we will get delta L, that was also asked, which will be 0.089 millimeter, which is shortening of the member. Now next question that was also asked in 2019. If we will go through the question paper, so you have around 20 marks for these axial stresses. So this is 12 marks, 8 marks, or you have question of 20 marks. So now in this one, we have given combination. So now problem you can read very carefully. So temperature increase is also there and load is also applied. So we have 2 rods of steel and 1 rod of brass. So we have to find out what are the load shared by each. Now when we will see this problem, first we have to think which value of alpha is greater. So obviously my alpha of brass is greater. So if alpha of brass is greater, that shows my brass bar will go in compression and my steel bar will go in tension. So we are considering in this. steel bar in tension and brass bar in compression. Okay, 100 kilonewton is load is there. So if our assumption is wrong, then we will get negative values. If assumption is correct, then we will get positive values. Now, but whenever I will go for delta, so we have to consider delta L due to temperature plus delta L due to load. So now you can see this. So delta LS equal to delta LB. Now delta LSP, which is due to load, plus L alpha T, which is due to change in temperature. Delta LB is due to load plus LFT, which is due to temperature. Now you can see over here. Now PS L upon AS ES plus L alpha T of steam equal to PBL upon AB EB plus L alpha T into B. Now alpha B greater than alpha S. So what will happen? Now just check it. My value of PB we have considered as compression, and therefore we have taken that term as minus. And by using this, you can see this. If we will consider it plus, then also it's okay. But we know that goes in compression, so better to consider in compression. And then we have this PS upon 210 into 10 raised to 3, and likewise we will get these values. So formula simple, delta L PL upon AE, delta L L alpha T. Here we have combination of load and combination of load and temperature. And therefore my formula delta L will be combination of these two. Now in this you can see, so we have these forces PS, PS, PB, and we will get from this, that is first relationship, and that relationship we will get as 9.52 PS plus 19 PB equal to 420 into 10 raised to 3. This we got by delta L. If we will see this and if we will write this for forces, then I have 2 PS minus PB minus 100 equal to 0, or I can write 2 PS minus PB equal to 100 into 10 raised to 3. You can see this. Plus minus sign, that you have to decide, upward plus or downward plus, that is your choice. So 100 is downward minus, but that is on left side, it is minus. We have taken it on right side, so it goes plus. And then you solve these two equations. By solving these two equations, I will get value of PS and I will get value of PB. Now value of PB we are getting as minus 2356.9 Newton, means we have again tensile in this. Though we have compressive force due to temperature, but 100 kilonewton we have which is used by it, and therefore, or that is greater sharing of PB, and therefore we will get that value as minus. That means our steel bar is also in tension and our brass bar is also in tension. And we have these values of PS and values of PB. So these are the two questions which was asked in 2019. Now this problem, this is very simple problem which was asked for 12 marks, that is in 2018. Now try to understand, we have a steel pipe which we have in long steel drill pipe got stuck in hard clay. So we have that is in hard clay, and we are interested to find length of it. Now that pipe we have came out and observed elastically by 500 millimeter, means I have delta L as 500 millimeter, total delta L. It was also observed that there was elongation of 0.04 millimeter in a gauge length of 200 millimeter. So if you remember your strength of material practical of tension steel, there we are going to mark on specimen, that is gauge length, and by knowing this gauge length we are going to decide value of delta L. So in the same fashion we have given delta L 0.04 and gauge length L is given 200 millimeter, and we have to solve this. So problem is very simple. So we have delta L equal to PL upon AE. Now what is delta L? 0.04. Is there anything is given? No. So do not think A is not given, E is not given. That is not our question papers from college. So these values are missing or these values are not given or assume these values. Here whatever is not given means you need not require to consider it. So from this I will get value of P upon AE as 0.04 upon 200. Now we will go for total length. For total length we have given that is 500 millimeter. Elastically means we have deformation total 500 millimeter. So now we will put value 500 is equal to which is delta L PL upon A. Now I know P upon AE and I have to find L. So if I put value of P upon AE, then automatically I will get value of L equal to 2500 into 10 raised to 3 millimeter, that is 2500 meter. Now just see, you have 3 to 4 steps, marks are 12. So you have to think, and when you apply concept, then you can solve problem very easily. So this was asked in 2018. Then we have again one problem which was asked in 2018, which is 20 marks. Now see, axial stresses in 2018 was asked for 32 marks. So our aim is only 600, and out of this 600 we are getting minimum 20 from axial stresses. So now we have a square bar. Now this I will not read total problem. So mu is given, E is given. So calculate the pressure value and change in volume. Also calculate bulk modulus, shear modulus of the material. So whatever I can solve, I will first go for it. And when I will talk about change in volume, so change in volume means I know that is dV is equal, dV by V is equal to strains in all direction, epsilon xx plus epsilon yy plus epsilon zz. So we have to find these values. Now, but here, if you read third line, so what is given? If all lateral strains of the bar are prevented by uniform pressure on its 4 lateral faces, calculate this pressure value and the change in volume. So now try to understand 4 lateral faces. So how many faces we have? 6. Out of 4, we have all lateral strains we have prevented. Means my stresses are there. I have value of sigma y also and I have value of sigma z also. So you have to find out value of sigma x, sigma y, you have to find out value of sigma z. So whatever deformation is there, that deformation is only along the length of the member. So now force is applied 10 kilonewton and length is 100 millimeter, cross section 50 by 50. First I will find value of sigma xx, sigma yy, sigma zz. I have to find out. How I will find it? I know epsilon yy is 0. I know epsilon zz is 0. Because deformation are not there, that means strain is 0. Because we have delta deformation of the member upon length of the member or dimension of the member. So if no deformation, that means strain is 0. So now you can see I have calculated first value of value of G first. Simple formula 2G in bracket 1 plus mu. Then we have K, 3K in bracket 1 minus 2 mu. Now as lateral strains are prevented, means compressive stresses are developed along Y and Z direction. Because compressive force is applied, means deformation we have tensile for lateral dimensions. And when we have to prevent that deformation, means I have to apply compressive stress. So definitely I have compressive stresses along Y and Z direction. Now you can see this. We can find sigma xx value. Sigma xx is simply P by A, 10 into 10 raised to 3 upon cross section 50 by 50. I will get value of 4 MPa. Now we can go epsilon xx. So 1 by E sigma xx minus mu sigma yy minus mu sigma zz. And we have substituted value sigma xx. We do not know sigma yy, sigma zz. Similarly, I can find value epsilon yy again in terms of sigma yy, sigma zz. I will go equation, I will modify it, which will gives me sigma yy minus 0.25 sigma zz equal to minus 1. Similarly, I will go epsilon zz. Now in epsilon zz again we have sigma yy and sigma zz unknown. Again I will get another equation, sigma zz minus 0.25 sigma yy equal to minus 1. Now I will solve this equation 1 and 2. Solving this equation 1 and 2, I will get value of sigma yy equal to sigma zz equal to minus 1.33 MPa. Why minus? Because we have considered tensile stresses. Sigma yy plus values we have considered. So we have these values as minus 1.3333 MPa. So these are compressive stresses. Now you can see. So epsilon xx. So epsilon xx we have minus 4 minus 0.25 into minus 1.33 minus 4y. We have again that as also compression. So we have from this epsilon xx. Now we know what is epsilon yy. Epsilon yy is 0. Epsilon zz is 0. So we have both values are 0. And as both values are 0, so my change in volume directly relate with epsilon xx. So I can have dvb dv upon v epsilon xx plus epsilon yy plus epsilon zz. Because epsilon yy and zz are 0. Why? Because we have prevented deformation on 4 faces. So we have allowed only along the length, and from this I will directly get value of dv, and that value of dv I will get minus 4.17 millimeter cube. What does it mean? Minus sign shows that there is decrease in volume of the member. See, this was asked for 20 marks. So now we have next. Now this question we have taken from 2017. Now same way, if you will see last problem and this problem, here only two faces are restrained. That is 30 by 200. So 30 by 200 we have restrained, means which dimension we are going to prevent from deformation. So dimension prevented from deformation is 60 millimeter. Try to understand. 30 millimeter by 200 millimeter, and in between these two we have dimension as 60 millimeter. So prevented dimension is 60 millimeter. So now we have that is considered as z. Now sigma xx we can find, that is given, which is 180 upon 180 kilonewton upon 30 by 60, which is cross section 100 MPa. Now epsilon xx. Now sigma zz is given 0, because we are not going to prevent dimension along zz direction, means 30 millimeter dimension can deform freely. So if it deform freely, means no stress is acting on it, and therefore my sigma zz becomes 0. If you prevent, then only stress will develop, otherwise stress will not develop. So now epsilon yy. So we have again epsilon yy, in this sigma zz is 0, mu here is given as 0.3. So now we will go sigma yy. Now no change in width of the member, which is considered as 60 millimeters. Now here epsilon yy we have 0. So substituting this epsilon yy as 0, I will get value of sigma yy, because 200 into 10 raised to 3 goes on that side, and I will get directly sigma yy, that is equal to minus 30 MPa, because when I will apply compressive force, so automatically tensile deformation will be developed, and to restrict it, to prevent it, we have to apply compressive force. So I will get this value as minus 30 MPa. Now epsilon zz we have to find, though sigma zz is 0, but epsilon zz is not 0. So now I will get epsilon zz, I will get delta b, change in width, which is related with 30. We have prevented 60 millimeters. So deformation of 60 is not there. So then we have epsilon xx, which is minus 4.5 into 10 raised to minus 4. Epsilon xx we know, from which I will get delta L. This is again minus sign shows you have decrease in the dimension. And then dv by v, epsilon xx plus epsilon yy plus epsilon zz. And substitute these values, which will give you dv minus 93.6 millimeter cube. Minus sign again shows there is decrease in volume. So this was asked, that is in 2017, which is for again 20 marks. And this one last problem we have considered, that is members which are in series, and that is we have temperature change. Then we have mostly covered all the problems in this, and composite rod. Now you can see composite rod AB is as shown in figure. Temperature is increased by 100 degrees centigrade and alpha is 11 into 10 raised to minus 6. Determine the stresses. E is given 200 GPa. Then what will happen in this? As temperature is increased, both the bars will try to expand. How much they will expand? If I will keep them free, then they will expand by delta L, which is equal to L alpha T1 plus L alpha T2. So this much deformation will be there if I will keep them free to expand. But we are going to prevent them. So now to prevent them, whatever force we require, that is, let us P. Now you can see for AC also we have force P and for CB also we have force P. We have seen in vertical member, that is in last lecture, vertical member we have considered, and there we have shown my R on both sides that are same. So now here we can go sigma 1 A1 equal to sigma 2 A2. So my force for AC should be equal to force for CB, then only we are going to get equilibrium, from which I will get sigma 1 in terms of sigma 2. Now sigma 1 is 100, A1 is 100, A2 50, so automatically it becomes 0.5 sigma 2. Now whatever L alpha T1 and L alpha T2 we have, that much we have to prevent by force P, and therefore we have PL upon AE1 plus PL upon AE2. Now as temperature is increasing, so automatically force developed is compressive. My deformation is tensile. There is increase in the length. So to prevent it, we should have decrease, and therefore stress will develop as compressive. So L alpha T plus 1 plus L alpha T2 equal to PL upon AE1 plus PL upon AE2. And from this, P upon A is sigma 1 for first and P upon A for second is sigma 2. E is the same, L is same, so we have cancelled from all, and from which I will get sigma 1 plus sigma 2 400. First equation sigma 1 equal to 0.5 sigma 2, second sigma 1 plus sigma 2 400. Solve these two equations simultaneously gives you sigma 1 146.67 MPa and sigma 2 293.33 MPa. Both are compressive in nature. So today I am going to forward a quiz, and that quiz is on these 10 questions. But these 10 questions we are going to shuffle. So you see